Sometimes life whispers lessons in the quietest moments. Sometimes what feels unfair today becomes the reason you rise tomorrow. And sometimes the things we lose guide us toward what we truly need. At the foot of a gentle green hill, right beside a dense, peaceful forest, there was a small countryside town in the Midwest. In that quiet town lived a humble man named Mr. Cooper, a middle-aged father who never had much, yet always carried gratitude like a warm light in his heart. Money was tight, food was simple, and life was slow. But Cooper believed every day he woke up was a blessing. He worked on a tiny piece of land, growing just enough crops to survive. Helping him were two things he treasured deeply: his hardworking son, Ethan, and a loyal white horse named Blizzard. Blizzard wasn't just any horse. He was quick, sharp, and almost seemed to understand human emotions. To Cooper and Ethan, Blizzard was family. One afternoon, Blizzard's beauty and intelligence caught the attention of a wealthy city businessman, Mr. Hawkins, who arrived with his young son. The moment he saw Blizzard, he was stunned. He immediately offered Mr. Cooper a generous amount of money, more than Cooper had seen in his entire life. But Cooper only smiled kindly and said no. The town erupted in gossip. Has he lost his mind? They whispered. He turned down a fortune. Yet Cooper stayed calm, as if he knew something no one else did. But a few days later, everything changed. One morning, Blizzard was gone. Ethan searched everywhere, panic rising in his chest. The villagers mocked Cooper even more, but Cooper simply said, "Son, good or bad, we cannot judge anything too quickly." Days passed, and Blizzard was nowhere to be found. Ethan grew more restless, walking through the forest trails, calling out his name again and again. The villagers didn't miss a chance to talk. "Mr. Cooper brought this upon himself," they said. "He refused money, and now he lost the horse too." But Cooper remained calm, his eyes soft, his voice steady. "Ethan," he said gently, "we often think we understand life, but life has its own timing. Let time unfold the truth." Ethan didn't fully understand, but his father's calmness brought him a little peace. Then one early morning, while Cooper and Ethan were tending the fields, they noticed movement near the forest line. Ethan's eyes widened. "Dad, look." Blizzard was returning, and he wasn't alone. Behind him were 5 wild horses, following him like a herd. Blizzard neighed proudly, as if presenting a gift. News spread across the town like wildfire. This time, the same villagers who mocked Cooper came running, praising him loudly. "Mr. Cooper is the luckiest man alive. Blizzard brought him wealth." Cooper only smiled, unchanged, not excited, not boastful. Maybe it was luck. Maybe destiny. But Cooper simply said, perhaps Blizzard went home to find his herd, and chose to return. With new hope in his heart, Ethan began training the wild horses. Day after day, he worked carefully, trying to tame them. But one afternoon, while riding one of the new horses, Ethan was thrown off. He hit the ground hard, and his leg fractured. Pain filled Ethan's eyes as he looked at his father. "Dad, this time it's truly bad, isn't it?" Cooper held his hand gently. "Son, even now, we cannot judge life so quickly." Ethan wanted to believe him, but the pain was too heavy. A week passed, and Ethan's leg still throbbed with pain. He often stared out of the window, wondering why life had turned so harsh so quickly. But fate had more to reveal. Suddenly, news spread across the country. A war had broken out. The government began gathering every young man from nearby towns to join the battlefield. Fear and grief clouded every home as soldiers reached the village. Families cried as their sons were taken away. Mothers clung to their boys. Fathers bowed their heads in helpless silence. But when the officers reached Cooper's home, they took one look at Ethan's leg and shook their heads. "He can't fight. He's injured." It's just like that. Ethan stayed behind. Days later, heartbreaking news arrived. Many of the young men who left never returned. The village echoed with sorrow. Parents mourned. Houses fell silent. Villagers came to Cooper with tears in their eyes. "You are blessed, Mr. Cooper. Your sons survived. Our boys." didn't. Ethan looked at his father with a new understanding when he had never felt before. "Dad, if my leg hadn't broken, I would have gone too." Cooper placed a gentle hand on his shoulder and said softly, "Life isn't always clear in the moment." Losing Blizzard felt painful, yet he returned with more. "Your injury felt terrible, yet it saved your life. Good or bad, we cannot know instantly. Time reveals everything, son," Ethan finally understood. Patience wasn't weakness, it was wisdom. Gratitude wasn't luck, it was strength. Because everything in life, whether joy or hardship, passes with time. And every moment carries a hidden purpose. Some lessons aren't found in books. They're hidden in moments, just like this one. Carry this thought with you. And if you felt something in this story, don't forget to like and subscribe. It not only helps me stay motivated, but also spreads more stories that touch hearts and teach lessons.